Welcome back to 2000 Railway. Last time we departed Manchester and came to Patricroft. Do check out the last episode if you haven't seen it yet. Today we will be continuing our journey to Liverpool. From Patricroft, we run at a maximum speed of 90 miles per hour or 145 kilometers per hour towards Liverpool. This section of the line was built on what is known as Chat Moss, a peat bog on which construction will be difficult. The engineer George Stephenson, who is known as the father of railways, realized that it is impossible to drain the bog and decided to fill sections of the bog with soil and timber after taking some advice. The tracks are then laid on top of the structure. Modern trains like this one still run on the original structure even if it's much heavier. We will then pass a few close stations again: Moss, Moss Cottage, Astley, Flow Moss Cottage, Glacebury and Bury Lane, Kenyon Junction and Parkside. Flow Moss was closed in 1842 and its location is rather unclear as it is not featured in maps of the time. At Parkside Junction, which is near the original station of Parkside, the Wigan Branch Railway branches off to Wigan. It is now a part of the West Coast Main Line. The Prime Minister at that time, the Duke of Wellington, attended the opening of the line and took a ride from Liverpool. At Parkside, the train stopped to take water. Some passengers, including William Huskisson, the Member of Parliament for Liverpool at that time, left the train and walked along the tracks to meet the Duke. It was at that moment the locomotive Rocket was running in the opposite direction and he was unable to get onto a carriage in time. He was run over and died later on that day. There is a memorial for the event on the platform of Newton-le-Willows station today. After we cross over the West Coast Main Line, we arrive at Newton-le-Willows. The station was named Newton Bridge when it opened in 1845 and it was renamed to its current name in 1888. If you have noticed the change in station signs, this is because we have left Greater Manchester and entered the county of Merseyside. From here onwards, station's operations is sponsored by Mersey Travel, the transport authority of the county.
This is the northern service to Liverpool Line train.
The town was also the home of the Falcon Foundry, which produced locomotives and railcars for British railway companies and railways in Malaysia, New Zealand, India, and also China. The next station is Earlstown. It has a triangular platform in the middle. The line branches off here and joins the West Coast Main Line at Winwick Junction further south. The station building is one of the oldest in the world to still be in service. Earlstown is named after Sir Hartman Earl, who was the chairman of the London and North Western Railway Company. Branch was known as the Warrington and Newton Railway, which joined the line and formed one of the first steam railway junctions here in 1831, known as Newton Junction at that time. The London and North Western Railway Company became related to the line as in 1845, the L&MR is absorbed by the Grand Junction Railway, and then in 1846, it became part of the larger London and North Western Railway Company. During the independent operation of the L&MR, investors were paid an annual dividend of a whopping 9.5%, which is a record unbeaten by any other railway company in Britain ever since. This large amount of profit provided a huge incentive for companies to build railways all across Britain throughout the 19th century. This railway's success also led to the adoption of the 1435 mm or 4 feet 8.5 inch gauge in Britain and worldwide, now known as the standard gauge. After Earlstown, we passed through one of the engineering marvels of the line, the Sankey Viaduct. It was built to cross the then Sankey Canal and it is 183 meters in length and 21.3 meters above ground. It's known as the Nine Arches and was completed fairly early in railway history. Before the next station, we passed through the original Collins Green station. Our next stop is St Helens Junction. The name Junction comes from the connection the line had with the St Helens and Runcorn Gap Railway, which links the town of Rainford, St Helens, Widnes and Liverpool. Although the line north-east of Widnes has been closed, the name still stands until this day. Just a small distance west of the station used to be where the L&MR line runs above the St Helens and Runcorn Gap Railway, forming one of the first railway bridges crossing over another railway in the world. Lee Green, our next station, is named after Lee Green Road nearby. The first station was closed in 1955 and was reopened in 2000. It is also a stop for express trains in addition to Newton Willows. The next station, Rainhill, originally named Kendrick's Cross, have a huge historical significance in railway history. The famous Rainhill Trials was held in 1829, where different locomotive designs was tested on a 1-mile track nearby. The test was held to prove the concept of steam locomotives and choose the best design. Of course, one of the locomotives that took part, and the only one that completed the trial, was George and Robert Stephenson's Rocket, and it was decided the winner. And so, the Stephensons was given the contract to produce locomotives for the L and MR. But in any case, the trials proved the concept of using locomotives, and its usage can be seen across the globe until today. This section of the line near Rainhill is also comparatively steeper at a gradient of 1 in 99, while other parts of the line are designed to be much more gentle. This is to cope with the power of locomotives at the time. By the way, the bridge over Rainhill Station is also the first bridge to cross a railway diagonally. Looking back in the days when the railway first opened, there were only 6 trains a day. The cheapest one-way fare between the two cities is 4 shillings and 6 pence, equivalent to about £24.60 today. Stopping services throughout the day mostly run through to Manchester Piccadilly, and then through the Style Line and Crewe-Manchester Line to Crewe at hourly intervals. An additional 5 stopping services a day runs to Manchester Victoria. There is also 1 train a day each to Wigan North Western via Newton and Willows, and also to Warrington Bank Quay. Express services are run by TransPennine Express from Liverpool to Newcastle, Transport for Wales from Manchester to Llandudno and Holyhead, and Northern trains from Leeds to Chester, the latter two leaving the line at Earlstown. The Northern service from Manchester Airport to Barrow-in-Furness and Windermere also uses the line up to Parkside Junction, but not calling at any station after Manchester Oxford Road. There is also 1 train a day to Ellesmere Port through the Houghton-Helsby line from Liverpool-Lime Street. The next stop, Wiston, is also a relatively new station along the line, being opened just in 1990. After Wiston, we passed the closed station of Highton Quarry. The Liverpool-Wigan line joins here just before we arrive at Highton Station, one of the busiest stations on the line. The train station had 4 platforms and 4 tracks till the 1970s, when 2 of them are demolished and tracks are lifted. However, they were reinstated during electrification to reduce interactions between the 2 lines. Highton, first founded before AD 1000, is a town strategically located near the main road between Liverpool and Prescott. However, it was the railway's opening that greatly expanded the town, as people moved here from the city due to reduced travel times. Roby Station, at about half a mile west of Highton, is also one of the original stations that opened in 1830. The next station, Broad Green, may be the oldest operational train station in the world. At the time of opening, Broad Green was the 3rd station the first train passed, right after the original Edge Hill station, and the starting station at Crown Street. As Crown Street and the original Edge Hill station were since closed, Broad Green may well become the oldest surviving train station. Right after the station, we enter the Olive Mount Cutting, a sandstone cutting 80 feet deep. The sandstone removed was used to build the Sankey Viaduct just mentioned before. We then part ways with the Canada Dock branch, which was closed to passenger traffic in 1977. However, studies have been done to look into the possibility to reopen the line to passengers, especially to the Enfield area, where Liverpool FC's Enfield Stadium is located. The next stop is Wavertree Technology Park, which opened in the year 2000. There was an original Wavertree Lane station, which was closed in 1836 when the tunnel to Lime Street opened. In the center of the town, there is a lockup built in 1796, which is used to hold people before they appear in court. It is also used to detain drunk people overnight. Another lockup still present in Liverpool is the one in Everton, also called Prince Rupert's Castle. It is the tower in Everton FC's emblem. We are now joined by the southern route of the Liverpool-Manchester line and also the Crewe Liverpool line. We then arrive at Edge Hill. The original Edge Hill station is located slightly to the southwest of the current station. When the railway first opened, passenger traffic ended at Crown Street, while goods traffic ended at Park Lane Goods Station through the Wapping Tunnel, also the first tunnel to be bored under a city. Crown Street soon proved to be too far away from the city, and so a new station, Lime Street, along with a new Edge Hill station, was opened 6 years after the initial opening in 1836. After Edge Hill, we descend towards Lime Street. When it opened, train descend by gravity, controlled by a brake wagon, and ascend the slope by cable hauling with a steam engine at Edge Hill. This was done until 1870, when trains have greater power to pull the wagons up the incline. Liverpool Lime Street Station is the oldest mainline train terminus still in operation. It is closer to the city centre and have been very popular with passengers since it opened. Rapid expansion soon followed, and now it consists of 10 bay platforms and one side platform underground for Merseyrail. It is also the starting point for the first mail train, the first intercity service, and the last steam mainline passenger service in 1968. The 15 guinea special, which ran on the 11th of August 1968, started here and went to Carlisle via Manchester and back. Let me get through the barriers, and here we are at the concourse of Lime Street Station. So here marks the end of our journey today. If you like this video, do subscribe, like and share, and I'll see you on the next train at 2000.